So sometimes the protection is to prevent solder paste from going down a via that's open to the other side of the board and causing defects or solder inside in the second, when they do the secondary side, what will that solder do? Will it cause a solder ball as the moisture builds and explodes it out? Sometimes, and I've seen actual pictures where they use dry film solder mask on one side of the board because the board is so hot on one side, they are blasting it with cold air, and it actually causes condensation and actually ice builds up on the board.
Wow.
And they don't want any moisture to go through the board. So that's like a level of protection that's extremely high. There are times they want to seal it so that then no chemistry can get in there and entrapped. So that's another type of protection from processes that we will do following on, as well as in assembly. When it comes to the via protection, with like a surface finish like ENIG, you cannot have one side covered in a via and the other side open. As we process ENIG, we have to have both ends of the hole open. And what happens is if you cover one side, first thing you do is micro etch and prepare the surface. The next thing is you palladium seed. The problem is the micro etch is now stuck in this cave where it's capped on one side, and you can rinse as much as you want, but you sometimes don't get it at the back end of the hole.
Does it create a vacuum?
No, what happens is it stops the palladium. Nickel does not go directly to copper, it goes to palladium.
Right.
So you have to palladium seed the surfaces of the outer layer. But if you have a via that was capped on one side and there's some micro etch, it'll leach out in the bath and prevent palladium from seeding on your surface mount lands.
Oh.
Then you don't get any nickel.
Oh, interesting.
And you have a dark pad.
Yeah.
So we have to have both sides of those holes open. So if you do solder mask over bare copper and call out ENIG, we have to open the side that you cover with mask. Even though we put everything, solder mask everywhere, we leave it open, we do ENIG, and then we have to go as an additional imaging, develop, screening, and curing solder mask, and it adds these extra process steps and time to build your board. But if you had them open on both sides, and cost.
Right, because it takes more time, right? An additional process.
Right, and then you have to worry about, is the via too close to a land that when we cap this, we don't bleed onto the surface mount land?
Yeah.
So, so these are things to take into consideration, that when you do certain surface finishes, either cover both sides. We actually open both sides for ENIG, no matter what.